Dear students, I welcome you all for this wonderful video lecture series on problem solving using C++. And today, our topic that we are going to discuss is data members and member functions. Actually, in the last class, we had discussed how creating a class and object, right? So, also, we had discussed what is data members and member functions lightly, right? So just we know that we are declaring a data members. What is data member and member functions? Just what actually we had discussed in the last class. Let us see detailedly how we are declaring data members and how we are defining member functions inside the class, outside the class. In detailly, we are going to discuss. Before going to have this video lecture, let us introduce myself. Myself, Shankar. I'm working as assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, RMD Engineering College, Chennai. Right. So let us see what is data members and member functions. First, we will look what is data members. Data members are the data variables. Generally, we know that what is variable, how we are declaring a variable, right? Sorry. In, for example, we are declaring variable look like this, int a, right? Like that, we are declaring a variable, right? Data type followed by variable name. Data type, we can use any valid data type, integer, float, character, long int, short int, whatever it may be. And a is an identifier we can use. So this is general variable declarations, right? So data members also the data variables, right? Similarly, the member functions are the functions. How we are declare or defining a function. For example, if you want to display a text, what we will do generally, we are creating a function look like this, void. That is any return type we should give here. I'm giving here void, right? Void display, for example. I'm giving here this, right? Then open brace, then close brace is there. Inside we can define any statements. For example, if you want, you can use cout, right? Cout. Then within the double quotes, you may give x, y, z something. And what happened? This function displays x. That's it, right? This is general function. So member function or functions only. So data members are the variables, data variables. Member functions are functions. Then what's the difference? Because already we have this is variable and this is function, but you said the data member data function, what it is, right? It is used to manipulate these variables and together define the properties and behavior of the object in the class, right? Just read once again. Data members are the data variables. Member functions are the functions used to manipulate these variables and together defines the properties and behavior of the objects in the class. Okay, how? Let us see. If you have a class called car, in the last class we had discussed how we are creating a class, right? You just remember. Suppose if we have created a class called car, its properties are speed limit, mileage. So we can say these are the data members, right? 1 minute. Yes. Right. So here there is no space actually. 1 minute. Yes. Sorry for the distance. Yes. So let us see the example. What I said, we have a class name is called car. What I doing here is class name is car. I'm creating class. You just remember in the last class we have discussed how we are creating a class name. Class is a keyword. Here the class name is car. please be adjust because I'm not much familiar for writing this pen, right? So class name is car. So open brace. So what are the data variables are there here? Data members are speed limit, mileage. I'm writing here a very short way. Okay. So data members I'm creating here like float data type. So float, right? Speed limit I'm mentioned here SL shortly. Again float, right? Again float. What's the next data member? Mileage. I mentioned here mileage as M. See, I open class, still I am not closed because the car is the class. I had a speed limit, mileage, or the data members. I have defined the speed and mileage of the data members. And apply brakes, increase speed, or the member functions. Apply brakes, increase speed, or the member functions, right? So what we should do here, the class is not closed. So you should use here void or float, whatever it may be written type. What is that first one? Apply brakes. I'm writing here shortly. Apply brakes. If you want any parameters, you may define parameters. They are not mentioned any parameters. This is actually open brace and this is actually closed brace. Inside you should write any statements. This is first member function. For the next member function, increase speed. Again, I am writing here one more. I'm defining one more member function that is called void. Please be adjust my handwriting. I'm not much familiar with this pen. Right? Increase speed. I just give a short note that is IS. Again, open brace, close brace. This is open brace, close brace. So what happened? Class is the class name. Sorry, class is the keyword. Class name is car. It consists of two data members. One is float, sorry, S1 and another one is M. That is speed limit and mileage. Again, we have two data member functions. That is apply brakes and that is I. Okay, is increase speed. So there is no more data members, there is no more member function. So after that I'm closing the class. How we are identifying the class is closed? Is ends with the semicolon. So these are all the class definition. You just see it's normal variable declaration. I said here no data members or the data variables. It's normal variable declaration. But what we have done here is we are declaring these variable inside the class. If we are declaring any variables inside the class, we can call it as data members. If you are declaring any variables inside the class, we can call it as data members. Similarly, you just see this part, this is look like function, but what we had done here is we have defined this function within the class. If you define any class, sorry, function inside the class, we can call it as member function. So what they have given here is member functions or the functions. These functions, if you declared any functions inside the class, it represent as member functions. This is a simple example. Let us see the same example, right? Class name is car, right? So here public. So actually we had not discussed still that what is public, private, protected, that we will have a separate class for the access modifier. I'll tell you later why the public is, why the private is, right? Okay, just remember now public. Under public, we have declared a two data member. One is speed limit and another one is mileage. You see previously what I done here is, here they have used integer as a data type, but my example I have used float. That is not means that we should use float, we should use integer. That is up to you, right? So here I have used two statement to declare two data members, right? If it was both of the both of data members are same type, we can use semicolon to separate both data members. This is all already we had rules while we talk about variables, right? So I don't want to take much time to this, right? Yes, see here next void apply break. So it just displayed apply break. Next void increase speed, just print your increasing speed, right? So class definition is up to here. The problem here, we should use semicolon, right? Semicolon must be there whenever you're closing the class. That to close brace must have the semicolon, must ends with the semicolon, right? Yes. So class is open here. I have declare two data members, right? Two data member in the sense variables. The variables which we are declared inside the class is the inside the class are called as data members. And again here I have member function. It has one statement. Again I have another member function. It has another set of statements, right? Then this is the class definition. So the class car contains two data members: speed limit, mileage, two member functions: apply brake, increase speed. Okay, already we had discussed that if we have declared or defined any data member inside the class, if you want to access the class properties or class members, you should create object. Without object we cannot able to access the class members, right? Slide. So I'm coming here, main. How we are creating object? Class name followed by object name, right? So class name is a car. We just check here. Class name is car. Object name is we have to give. So object one. So object one dot apply brake, in a sense, automatically it goes to apply brake. And here what statement is given? See out apply brake. So the output is apply brake. And next, increase speed. It working? It will not work, because whenever you want to access the properties or members of a class, you should use object dot member name. If you use this statement, it won't be work. It shows an error. So what you should do here, you have to add object one dot increase speed. Then only the control goes here, right? Then only the control goes here and it prints increase speed, right? For the making difference, that's why I have missed here, right? Don't take that the word is missing, right? Then only you can able to realize what is missing there, why it has been missed, right? Because if you have missed this object one dot, we cannot able to access this increase speed, right? You have to remember, whenever you are defining any member functions or members inside the class, that must be accessed through the object. That you should keep it in your mind, right? Yes. And next, accessing data members and function, that recently I said. Okay, once again I will repeat. The data members and member functions of a class can be accessed using dot operator with object. You just see here, you just see this statement. Object, what is object? Object one dot, object one dot, that I said in the first point. Whether it is data member or it is member functions of the class can be accessed using dot operator with the object. The public data members can access directly by the object, whereas the private data members cannot be accessed directly by the object. We will discuss this when we are talking about access specifiers. And next, accessing data members depends on the access control of that data members. That is about to access data members. It means that nothing private, public, protected. There are three types of access specifiers are there. If you declared any data member, like here, instead of public, if you are giving private, what happen here is those data members we cannot able to access outside the scope of the class, right? It will be available only inside the class. That is called actually private. If you are declaring as a public, we can access anywhere on the program, throughout the program. If it is protected, that little bit confused. If I am explaining, I will tell you later, right? Yes, that is actually given once again, right? You just see the class name is car. Under public, we had a string type of data member that is called model. And next we have another member function that is called void print car model. So car model name is, that's it, right? Actually here what we should give here is, because we need to print model name, no, so here we should give model. That semicolon should not be appear there, it must be appear and end of the statement, right? Not here, this semicolon will not be here. Instead of that, you just give alter the program look like this, right? You just see class name is car. We had one data member, one member function. Data member is model, member function is print core model. I'm creating objects inside the main, right? We know that class name, object name. Object name is obj1. See here, I'm assigning value to the model. obj1.model equal to BMW. What happened? This BMW X5 is assigned to this model variable. In the previous example, actually, we had declared two data member called speed limit and mileage, but we have not used there. If you want, you can use here also like this obj1 dot speed limit. I'm simply writing SL. Speed limit is equal to 40. Then the speed limit value is 40. Similarly, mileage, object 1 dot mileage is equal to 60 or 70, whatever you want, you can assign. If you want to print, you can print similarly. Object 1 dot is speed limit, object 1 dot mileage look like you should give. So you just here object 1 dot model is equal to BMW X5. So what happened? The value BMW X5 is assigned to model data member which we have declared inside the class. And next object 1 dot print car model. Then what happened? Automatically control goes to here. Control goes to here. This member function has only one statement, that is first it print car model name is. Car model name is. And next what we have? Model. What's the value of model here? Here we have not mentioned, so it comes here. What values of model? We have assigned BMW X5. So it prints BMW X5, right? And next, for defining member functions in the class, we have two ways. We can define a member functions in two ways. One is inside the class definition, another one is outside the class definition. Here the definition is spelling mistake, please note down. Outside the class definition, inside the class definition, right? Yes. Let us see how we are defining the function with the outside the class, right? So if you want to define a function outside the class definition, it can be declared inside the class. See, we know the parts of function. We have declaration, definition, and function call, right? So here you want to define the member function outside the class. That function must be declared inside the class first. Later you may define the function outside class. While defining the function outside the class, you should follow this rule. What you should follow? It can be performed by specifying the name of the class, followed by the scope resolution operator, followed by the function name. Actually, here the general syntax is not there. The general syntax is return type, right? I will write simply return type, class name, scope resolution operator, function name. So this is a function name. If it has any parameter in open brace, close brace, right? So just remember the general syntax to define functions outside the class, because we are declared already inside the class. We need to define the function outside the class. For that, the general syntax is return type, class name, scope resolution operator, function name. If it has parameter, any parameter, you can define the parameter, otherwise leave it, right? Okay, take the example class. The class name is car. In public, I have not used any data member. And one more thing, what you should remember here is the data member and the member functions are optional. It's not mean that all the class should have data members, all the class should have member functions. It is up to you. Based on your problem, you may have n number of data members or you may not have any data members, right? That's up to you. Okay, as of this example, we don't have any data members because we are talking about only defining member functions outside the class. Okay, I have declared a function inside, right? Return type, function name, ends with a semicolon. You know that every function declaration must be ends with a semicolon. So based on this statement itself, we can identify this is the declaration. We need to define, right? So what the syntax for defining member function outside the class, because you just see here, up to this, the class definition is over because it ends with a semicolon, right? Yes. So what's the general syntax I said to define the member function outside the class? First, it should have return type. What return type? Void. This return type and the function declaration return type must be matched, right? Yes. So the return type is void. And what's the next one? Class name. What's our class name? Class name is cars. So the class name is cars. Followed by scope resolution operator. Followed by scope resolution operator. Followed by function name. What's our function name? Print name. This function name and this function name must be match, right? Okay, then open brace, close brace. So we have open brace, close brace. Inside we should define our statements. What statements we have given here? What statement we have given here? See out, I am BMW. See out, I am BMW. You just see here, cars is the object. Sorry, cars is a class. We have created object called object one. So object one dot print name. Automatically, what happened? It goes to print name. Here, what statement is given? Only see out, I am BMW. So the output is I am BMW. Right? So cars, object one, cars is the class name, object one is the object name. So how we are accessing members? Object name dot member name. Object name is object one, member name is print name. So it goes to here and it prints the output. Similarly, the next one is inside the class definition, which is normal. So this is normally we are using, right? So inside the class definitions, normally we are using. You just see the example that itself you can have an idea. So class name is cars. So here you have a function called print name. Here parenthesis is missed. You should use open brace and close brace. So here itself we are defining a function. So cout void print name under open brace close brace. In the open and close brace we should define the function called BMW. Without brace, if you are executing this program, you won't get any output, right? So similarly the rest all same. Class name, object name dot function name. You know what happened? It comes here. Inside the class we have only cout I am BMW. Just it prints I am BMW, right? So I hope you understood how we are defining data members and how we are defining member functions inside the class, outside the class, and so on, right? Okay, thank you all for watching this video lecture series on problem solving using C++. Thank you all.